All right, so what about tapping and manifesting? God, it's funny. So the post shows up in the group, another post shows up in the group, then the private messages. So let's put this to rest. Yesterday, I blocked out 90 minutes. I got out my colored markers and I got a cigar, had a thermos full of coffee, and I came out to the cottage. I locked myself in for 90 solid minutes. 90 solid minutes. And charted out exactly the changes that we're making in our business starting next month. I just really charted them out in detail and worked through some logistics, and I am excited. So what does this have to do with tapping? Ready? I imagine finishing up and showing Victoria. That's it. I imagine finishing up, showing Victoria, and being on fire. Can you hear it? So, you'll notice I got out some markers, I got out my whiteboard, I got a thermos full of coffee, I got a cigar, and I'm not blaming any of those things. None of them. See, the moment I go, radio, I did my best work smoking a cigar, therefore, I need to smoke cigars. So many people do that with stuff like tapping. They say, well, it generates steady brainwaves and frees the energy blockages within the meridians, and I get it, right? Yeah. I also get that it's bullshit. Because the second you go, I manifest better, I manifest easier, I need to tap before I can, you're an addict. You've lost your freedom. You've sold the pearl. Now here's the cool thing, ready? When you fill your petrol tank with petrol, that's gasoline in the USA. So you get out your buggy, your 1972 Ford Pinto with the fuzzy dice hanging off the mirror and your 8-track player, and you're going to go from Pittsburgh to Portland. Oh yeah, baby. And you fill the tank full of petrol, which may not be a good idea for a 1972 Pinto. But you fill your tank full of petrol, and then you blame the petrol for the road trip, and nothing happens. See, petrol's useful for the road trip. It doesn't make it happen, though. You imagine something that had you do something that matters, like getting petrol. If you keep imagining going to Portland, you may be looking at a map or a GPS, and you'll drive generally from east to west, right? A little bit of north and south, but generally you're going west if you're going from Pittsburgh to Portland. But meanwhile, you may turn off and go north and get a burger. The burger doesn't get you to Portland. The burger was something you enjoyed along the way. Now here's the fun thing. You're going to keep driving to Portland. It's going to take a while. And as you drive to Portland, you see, oh, Joe's Bar. Let's stop there and have a beer. All right. So you have a beer. That was fun. You don't blame the road trip on the beer, do you? See, those are just things you enjoy along the way that aren't necessary. If you like tapping, go play the drums. Right? Personally, again, notice if you're blaming anything on anything. Because if I told you I manifest better after a couple shots of whiskey, you'd go, that guy's an alcoholic, right? If I told you I need to smoke cigars to make money, you'd say there's something wrong with that guy. But if I say, hey, tapping, that helps. Vitamin C helps you manifest better too. Now here's the thing. If you're imagining health and you find yourself taking vitamin C, take it. No big deal. If you find yourself wanting to go to Portland and, you start going to Portland and you want to put some petrol in the gas tank, do it. Personally, I find eating yummy food and taking a few vitamins fun. But I don't blame my health on either one. Because I know plenty of people that take vitamins. I know plenty of people that eat gummy food. And they're not healthy. Because they're imagining health is a fragile thing. And they're worried about, the liars. I'm buying this meat and it might have chemicals in it. Might have, shots in it. What do we call those shots? Yeah, stuff that'll get me. And I'm going to only buy organic broccoli from that guy that I trust. But once he dies, then my health is going to go to the shits because I don't trust anyone. See, once you start going down that path, it just gets weird. So how do you tell if something is a bridge or something's bullshit? This is where the fun is, because if I blamed the podcast on the hot tub, right, that's bullshit. But I happen to enjoy making the podcast from the hot tub. I've made it from my car. I've made it from my house. I've made it from my lovely Ames chair while listening to traffic. But I'll tell you what, I can't make the podcast till I tap. But what I can tell you is an excellent podcast like this one that you will send me emails about, because I get the emails every single day. I love them. I love responding to them. I love you. I love responding to you. And here's why. I imagine your smiles. I don't imagine you tapping. I imagine you discovering the truth about you that sets you free. And it's not a 20-step tap sequence. It's noticing to do a 20-step tap sequence, you have to imagine doing it. And finally, here's what's cool. Remember, on the road trip of life, there are some things that are necessary. If you're driving a 72 Ford Pinto from Pittsburgh to Portland, it'll be necessary for you to add petrol. It might be a wise decision once in a while to check the oil. On the other hand, if you find yourself driving north or south to go eat a burger at Bob's Bar, or have a beer while having a burger at Bob's Bar, don't blame the burger on Bob's Bar for the next hour of driving. Right? That was just you enjoying a burger. Feel free to enjoy anything you want in life. You can enjoy poetry. I do. But I don't blame manifesting on poetry. I blame poetry on manifesting. Because to write poetry, to read poetry, I have to imagine something. And if I don't need to tap to read poetry, or get a burger at Bob's, or put petrol in the car, I can skip all that and just notice, hey, the orange light is on. I'm imagining driving away from the petrol station, because some people, the orange light comes on and they start hoping and praying and tapping and so on, and it's like, okay, I hope I make it to the petrol station. Rightio. If you got the gold, I've got a couple things we're working on. One is the Pearl Power Pack. Oh, listen to that. The Pearl Power Pack. We did 3 live calls. We limited them to 10 people each. We had a blast. We're putting them in what we call the Pearl Power Pack, because if you don't buy the Pearl, you're going to have a lot of interesting experiences. But once you do buy the Pearl, and when you keep exploring buying the Pearl, and the depth of the Pearl, oh my God, can you hear it in my voice? Stay tuned. The Pearl Power Pack coming soon. Email me if you want details on that. First up. And meanwhile, if you got gold today, I've got a couple suggestions for you. Ready? metamanifesting.com. Just go there and watch the videos. That's metamanifesting.com. META manifesting.com. Go watch the cool little videos. Notice if that speaks to you, because that's the behind-the-scenes peek into who we are and what we do. It's like the framework behind the framework. It's the foundation under the foundation. That's metamanifesting.com. Go there, check it out. Have a lovely day. And notice how we just skip what's not needed entirely, and we dive deeper into exploring the truth about you. That sets you free. Have a lovely day. See ya.